Let's take a look at the highlights.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
The Dodgers would score first on a long home run into left field to put them up 1-0. The Tigers would score on a wild pitch. This one would tie things up. And then it was the Tigers again, a long home run. Tagging up, a sac fly.
Sac fly.
And he scores in. Then it was Teoscar Hernandez to deep center field to make this game 4-2.
He does that a lot.
And Torkelson, who has
Your guy.
solidified his position so far in the first game, hits a home run. We'll talk more about that. The Dodgers would get back on the board again on this home run into left field to make things 5-3. Shohei Ohtani. And the Tigers would score one more time on a sac fly. And that would be the scoring for the Detroit Tigers. Kerry Carpenter on that sac fly.
Yeah.
5-4 Dodgers win this one. Any takes on the game? Did you watch much of it?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I liked how Ibanez came out, very aggressive. He played very well at third base. So they may have something there.
Okay.
Your guy Torque ran into one, but he does that. But the thing is, can he sustain that? Will that be, him? I don't know what he's better at from the right side or the left, but he hit a, home run from the right side yesterday.
If he platoons, I want to say Ibanez is he's a lefty. So I think he bats against right-handers, and then I'm
talking about Torque.
Oh, Torkelson.
Yeah, Torque. I don't know what he's better at. Left, if he's on the left side of the plate, I don't have those numbers, or if he's better on the right side. But he ran into one last night from the right side.
Well, he is only one of 6 players in Tiger history to go 1 for 1, and he drew 4 walks last night.
He did draw 4 walks. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Considering he was a strikeout machine last year.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's a very good sign.
He's
I
seeing
mean,
the
of
ball.
course, it's just the first game of the season, but, I'm rooting for Torkelson to turn things around.
I mean,
if he hits, he stays in the lineup.
Period. Point blank.
But here's the thing. Do they
He's got to hit
play
better than
him
190.
at first, or are they going to keep him at DH?
I don't know. That's the question. This offense and this team is musical chairs. You never know what's going to be thrown out there. So I can't have any. I don't have any definite answers. That's going to be all up to AJ. But it looks like it's going to be musical chair. And the Tigers, and I know it's the first game, but they have some issues. I watched the game. They in a nutshell,
I agree with you.
The Tigers can't hit.
That's going to be their problem.
They can't hit.
Scoring runs for Skubal, scoring runs for Flaherty.
They can't hit. That.
Your guy Torres had a pretty decent night last night.
Gleyber?
2 for 5.
Yeah. Now, the thing with him, we're going to watch him. I'm going to watch him closely because he hit in front of Soto. You get a lot of good pitches when you hit in front of Soto. You know what I mean? So I'm going to watch. He's going to be a key factor. Like I said, I liked Ibanez at third. I liked how he came out. He came out very aggressive. Played a great third base, good third base, very solid. And my thing is, if you get to Skubal, if you get to him, because every pitcher can be gotten to.
Sure.
But he's just so good, he doesn't get gotten to a lot. But if you get to him, Tigers are. I mean, that's another. That's if he loses, and he's out there. What's the rotation? Every 5 starts or whatever. But
yeah,
if you get to Skubal, they're in trouble. They're in trouble right now. And I know it's the first game of 162 games, but it's either you can't leave 14, 15 bases in scoring position.
Sure.
That's never going to win you any ball game. That's not going to win you a division. That's not going to win you a bunch of ball games. So that's the concerning factor. And of course, we just got word. I don't know if we said it last week. Meadows is out until May, but he's an up and down, type hitter. So they have to hit, and they have to hit collectively. That's the concern from what I saw last night.
Manny Margot, who was just signed right before the season began, was 2 for 3 last night with a RBI. Looking here, also McKinstry got on base. Rogers had a hit. Kreidler had a hit. Kreidler.
Rogers going to keep the mustache?
That is a. I don't remember the mustaches looking all that crazy back in the 80s when people wore them.
It looked orange. Was it orange?
Maybe he's a ginger. I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
But, I mean, you're right. You're definitely right. I mean, when you're looking at who's got a hit, you know, Ibanez didn't get a hit. Sweeney didn't get a hit. Colt Keith batted 5 times, didn't get a hit.
He looked terrible.
Baez went 0 for 2.
Yeah, there's no shocker. There's not a shocker.
But, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Skubal, 5 innings, he only gave up 6 hits. Of course, he did give up 5 runs, only struck out 2.
See, and that's the thing. And it's early, and this is where pitchers get hurt and things like that, and they try to, go from Florida to the warm weather, even though it's in LA, but it's still 50 degrees.
Sure.
It's not like Florida. A buddy of mine is down there with his son. Said it's 80. So he's down there with his son. They're getting prep, high school baseball. But that's the thing. If Skubal is done in 5, the Tigers are done. They're done. I need Skubal at least 7. At least 7. See, because he's the one true solid rock that they have. Not even Riley Green. Riley Green is. I know people want to propel him as he's not a superstar. He's not a superstar. He's not even a star yet. He was an all-star because you have to. I think in baseball you have to have one player, and he was the best player last year. Him and Skubal, but if I need Skubal. If you can get him in 5, you can get to him in 5. Tigers are probably going to lose that ball game. And now Flaherty's up, and I like Flaherty, but the Yankees didn't want him. People didn't want him because of his injuries. They were concerned about that. So, but there were some things that I did see. Tigers came out swinging the bat, and that's what you need to do. Get to those pitchers before they start getting their pitches developed, those splitters and curveballs and things like that. Jump right out up on them. So I did like that. But it's going to be a long season, man. It just is. I think it's going to be a long season because you start off leaving 14, 13 runners in scoring position. That's not going to – this is Major Leagues. That's not going to win you any games. It's going to be hard to win games. And some of the Dodgers hitters, they didn't even really go off, like they can. So, and Ohtani, he's just so strong. He just hits the ball to the opposite.
Teoscar Hernandez is another one.
Yeah.
Another guy I wish the Tigers would have went after.
Yep.
But, I mean, but when you look at these opening day rosters, what I found out in reading is Toledo sent down. They sent down Jason Foley, who was their leader in saves last year. And Andrew Chafin, they dropped him to AAA.
Why? Did it?
I don't know if you have to put Maeda in there.
Oh, okay.
Because with a big contract to see how he pans out, and then them picking up Tommy Conley from the Yankees. I mean, I know you're probably going to see them come up here sooner than later.
Yeah.
Probably after the first road trip, they'll probably get a grip on who they're going to keep and bring back down.
Yeah.
I'm sure before opening day on April 4th.
Yeah, April 4th. Shout out to opening day. And because right now, this is what does Sparky used to say? Give me 40.
Yeah.
Give me 30, 40. So let's get back into that, and especially with the pitching. You want to see what that pitching does. But the lineup is just throwing darts. You're just throwing darts right now.
Is it alarming, though, that your first baseman, Colt Keith, goes 0 for 5 in his first game?
It's very alarming. He looked terrible.
Do you think he looked terrible because he probably wasn't familiar with the NL Dodger pitching, or is it maybe him getting used to first base. What do you think?
That could be it. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing, hitting and fielding.
But like I said, though,
And playing out of your position.
Yeah, but I've said it a long time ago. A lot of players struggle their second year.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, and I'm not trying to go off and say because he could go 5 for 5 tonight.
Right.
But I just feel like they have a lot to really kind of look at over the next month or two.
Yeah, and AJ knows way more than I do.
Sure.
But I think I would put Torkelson at first.
You'd put him back in first?
Put him back at first. Put him back at first. DH Keith, platoon him with Torres. I don't know. Maybe try Torres at third, but I did find Torres has never played third base. He never played Major League third base. Ever. Not in spring, ever. So they have a lot of thinking to do. And one thing is for certain, you keep hitting, they're going to find a way for you in that lineup somewhere, because that's the key. So give it a little bit of time. First game, but Colt didn't look sharp yesterday, and a lot of players like it's the first, like Snell. He walked, so it's he walked Torque 4 times. You know what I mean? So it's
sure.
It's the beginning. The weather hasn't broke, so we will see. But the concern is they have to hit. And they weren't a good hitting team last year. They got on a hot run, but they have to hit. You can't leave those many runners in scoring position. That's the difference.
It makes you wonder today, the Tigers, in a trade, picked up Brewer Hicklin from the Brewers. He was a 7th overall pick by the Kansas City Royals in 2017. Mm-hmm. Last year, only 5 at bats. So basically, in the minors last year, he had a little bit. He had 6 games with KC in 22. Mm-hmm. You think this is a depth piece, or do you think that they're just kind of swinging for the fences here?
Yeah.
Maybe trying to find, trying to get the diamond out of the rough, so to speak.
Yep, that's exactly what I think they're doing.
Because he was going to be designated for assignment for the Brewers. So, I don't know. I don't know much about him other than that. He does bat both.
Yeah, okay.
And they need some right-handed hitting.
They do. They desperately need some.
He's 29.
Okay.
I'm looking at his minor league stats here. His best year was in 2022 when he came up to Kansas City. Mm-hmm. In Omaha, he hit 28 home runs. Last year in Nashville, he had 22 home runs. So hopefully they're trying to find something, a power piece here.
At this point, you almost have to. You have to kind of,
because you're not going to get a lot of home runs from Ibanez.
Yeah.
And especially with who they have.
You're not going to get a lot of home runs from anybody.
Yeah. I'd like to see if Manny Margot, he had a good game. He was okay. He's never been like a career 300 hitter or anything else like that. Mm-hmm. But I just think they need guys to really solidify those spots until Parker Meadows gets back, Juancil Perez gets back.
Now, the one kid in center, he did make a good catch last night.
Yeah.
Very good catch last night in center. What's his name? Is it Kryler?
Kryler, yeah.
But you have to kind of figure it out because it's early and try to get that diamond in the rough. Hopefully somebody can come up and just start tearing the cover off the ball and maybe has a solid position that they can put in. Because right now they look like a minor league team on paper.
Sure.
And I'm not too sure I would run Bias back out at short. Now, they said he played some outfield, and they said he played some third in spring training. I didn't watch any of the spring training, but they did say that. I think they need a fresh start over there.
Sure.
I don't think I would run him back out there. But yeah, you have to find something that gives you a little bit of solidarity because, like I said, it's musical chairs with the lineup. The pitching, we know what's going to happen there. It looks like they have.
Well, let me ask you something. I was talking to a gentleman today at the restaurant, and he's seen the Tiger cap I got on.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
started talking
I saw
about,
another one of those, too.
Started talking about the Tigers game. And he brought up the point, and I thought it was a pretty good point. He said, why didn't the Tigers bring in a left-hander to go up against Ohtani? A lefty on a lefty. But is Ohtani just that good?
Percentage-wise, great. Ohtani's hit anybody.
Yeah.
Kind of doesn't matter, but you still take your chances with the percentages.
Sure.
That's just old baseball stuff. You know what I mean? Like lefty on lefty.
Especially with the game that close.
Yeah, lefty on lefty. But
I mean, 5-4.
that's a good point.
I thought so.